Hi everyone, welcome to our channel Tirambada Katral Civil Engineering Academy. In today's video, we are going to learn some important question and its corresponding solution, which are asked in the GATE 2021 examination. Those questions are from Applied Hydraulics and Structural Dynamics subject respectively. Before getting to the video, if you are not yet subscribed our channel, please do subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon. So let's get into the video. The first question is a cylinder which is of 2 meter diameter, 3 meter long, and a 25 kilonewton weight is acted upon by water on one side and oil on other side as shown in the figure. The absolute ratio of the net magnitude of vertical forces to the net magnitude of horizontal forces is. So this is our first question. From the question, we came to know about the picture also given clearly. Look, PQR. This is the cylinder which is immersed in some liquid. So one side of the cylinder is filled with water, and the other side of the cylinder is filled with oil. So the specific gravity of oil is 0.8. They are asking that what is the absolute ratio of the vertical forces to the horizontal forces. This is the question they are asking. So whatever the body it may be, so it may be the cylinder, it may be the prism, whatever it is, it's have its own center of gravity. Through the center of gravity, it has the horizontal force and the vertical force, right? So they are asking that the absolute ratio of the vertical force to the horizontal force. This is the question they are asking so far. This is the very important question we have to concentrate for the gate exam. They're asking this kind of questions regularly in gate examination. Just we have to understand what is the core concept of this problem, try to solve it in a simple way. Okay, so let's get into the solution. The required answer is absolute ratio. The required answer is the absolute ratio between value of a vertical force to the horizontal force, right? This is the question they are asking, right? So first we have to calculate what is the vertical force, that is the net magnitude of vertical force. So the step one is to find net magnitude net magnitude of vertical force. So generally, how to calculate the vertical force means the formula for the vertical force is nothing but rho gv or rho g l into a. Okay, so a volume is nothing but length into area, right? So area into length, anything. So this is the formula. So we have to calculate for the cylinder which is shown in the figure. So look at the picture. One side of the cylinder is filled with water and another side of the cylinder is filled with oil. We have to find the weight of the cylinder which is immersed in water and the weight of the cylinder which is immersed in oil. So the summation of both gives the net magnitude of vertical forces. Okay, so first just write the formula, that is weight of cylinder weight of cylinder immersed water in water plus weight of cylinder immersed in oil. We just take it as 1 plus 2 gives the net magnitude of vertical force. It makes simple to calculate, right? So first one, the weight of cylinder immersed in water. So how can we calculate the weight of the cylinder immersed in water? I just told the formula for calculating weight of cylinder in water is rho g a into l, that is volume. So rho in water, the rho is nothing but density of water, right? So we are calculating for water, right? So rho is nothing but, I mean, rho density of water into g. So g is nothing but 9.81, the gravitational force, into length of the cylinder into area of the cylinder. So this is the formula to calculate weight of cylinder immersed in water, right? So what is density of water is nothing but 1. The value of g is 9.81, and length of the cylinder, so length of the cylinder is given as 3 meter long in the problem itself. They gave a 3 meter long cylinder. So length is nothing but 3. And how to calculate the area? Okay, let's look at the figure. Here, half of the cylinder is immersed in water, right? So half of the cylindrical portion is immersed in water. So this is the portion, right? That what it means, this is the semicircle. So the cross section is nothing but the semicircle. So what is the area of the semicircle? Just half of the area of the circle. So we can write as half of the area of the circle. So the area of the circle is pi d squared by 4. So pi by 4 into diameter is nothing but 2, right? So the diameter of the cylinder is 2 meter. It is given clearly in the problem. So pi by 4 into 2 squared, half of the area of the circle. So when we calculate this, we get the answer as I actually calculated before. So the answer is 46.23 kilonewton. Just to cross check it and mention the right answer in the comment section, right? So the second thing is weight of the cylinder immersed in oil. Weight of the cylinder immersed in oil. So how can we rewrite this formula? So the density of oil into G. So the G is going to change, and length of the cylinder also not going to change, right? So the area which is immersed in oil. So look at the problem. This is the portion which is immersed in oil. Am I right? This is the portion which is immersed in oil, just the hemisphere. I mean, half of the semicircle, right? So, how can we write the formula? This is one fourth of the circle, right? What is a hemisphere? Just one fourth of the circle. So, we can write the equation, and we can write the value as what is the density of oil. The density of the oil is nothing but the specific gravity of oil, which is clearly given in the problem as 0.8, and G is going to be 9.81, and length of the cylinder is not going to be changed. So the length of the cylinder is 3, and what does the area? Just one fourth of the circle. So 1 by 4 into pi by 4 into 2 squared. And this is also I have calculated already. So the value will be 18.49 kilonewton. Okay, so the final value, I mean the net magnitude the net magnitude of vertical force is nothing but just sum of both the value. 46.23 plus 18.49, which gives the value 64.72 kilonewton. So force, no, so for the force, just put the unit as kilonewton. So first we calculate the net magnitude of vertical forces. So the second step is nothing but magnitude magnitude of horizontal net magnitude of horizontal force. Okay, so for horizontal force, the formula is nothing but just a slight change from vertical force, that is rho g h into a. Okay, so that means the rho is nothing but the density of the liquid, corresponding liquid, G 9.81, that is not yet changed. Height is the height of the portion which is immersed in particular liquid, right? So what does area means? The area is nothing but immersed height, uh, and the area of immersed height and the cylinder height. That is the area to find the horizontal force, right? So rho g h into a. This is the formula to find out horizontal force. Okay, so just we write the simplified formula first. So in water force in water plus force in oil, which gives net magnitude of horizontal force. So just write simplified as 3 plus 4 gives net magnitude of horizontal force. So what is 3? Force in water. First we are going to calculate what is force in water. So force in water is nothing but, I already said that, rho g h into a. Rho is the density of water, g and h into a, right? So rho, what is a rho of water? 1. And G is nothing but 9.81. What is H? H is nothing but height of the portion immersed in the particular liquid. What is the height of the portion immersed in particular liquid? That is nothing but 2. Okay, 2 meter, 2 meter of the portion immersed in the particular liquid. So height is 2. And what is the area? So area is nothing but area of the portion that is immersed. Okay, so what's the area of the portion? Look at the picture here. The height of the water is 3 meter, and the height of the cylinder is 2 meter. That is the value of area, that is 2 into 3. So the area is 2 into 3. Okay, so when we calculate this value, we can get mm, 117.72 kilonewton. Just to calculate and verify the answer, and comment in the comment section. So next we are going to calculate number 4. Okay, so we already know that the formula is rho g h into a. Okay, so here rho is nothing but density of oil. So the density of oil is given as 0.8. The value of gravity is 9.81. What is h here? H is the height of the portion which is immersed in the particular liquid, that is oil. So the height of the portion which is immersed in oil is nothing but 1 meter. That is nothing but 1 meter. So the value of h is 1 meter, and the area. So the area is, look, so the height of the immersed portion is 1 meter, but in the other side the height of the liquid is 3 meter height. So 3 into 1 is the area here. So the area is 3 into 1. So when we calculate this, we get the answer as mm, 11.77 kilonewton. So finally we get the answer as the net magnitude of horizontal force is equal to weight of, sorry, force in water, force in water minus force in oil. Okay, the force in oil. So what is the force in water? We get that 117.72 minus 11.77. Finally we get the answer as 105.95 kilonewton. Just check out the answer and comment in the comment box. So finally we get both the value, right? So the net magnitude of vertical force also we had, and we also find out what is the net value of horizontal force also. So final answer, the step 3 is absolute ratio, nothing more. So the absolute ratio is equal to vertical force divided by horizontal force. So we calculate the horizontal force as 105.95, and the vertical force is nothing but we have already calculated like 64.72 kilonewton. When we divide these numbers, we have 0.61. So the absolute is ratio is 0.61. So this gives your answer. So if you have any doubt in the solution, just comment in the comment box. Okay, so this is our second problem, a prismatic fixed beam. So fixed means both ends are fixed. It's modeled with the total lumped mass of 10 kg. So the center of the beam is fixed with the mass of 10 kg as a single degree of freedom. SDOF system is shown in the figure. If the flexural stiffness of the beam is 4 pi square kilonewton per meter, its natural frequency of vibration in hertz, okay, in the fluxural mode will be. So actually this is a very easy question. In all the competitive exam they are asking the question like this, for a SDOF system, find the natural frequency. So this is a very easy question to solve out. So I am going to solve in a very simple manner. Just look after us and get the answer. Before we get into the solution, we must know what is meant by single degree of freedom or degree of freedom, what that means. So degree of freedom is nothing but it is the movement of the body independently. Okay, if the system has single degree of freedom means it has one independent movement in any way. Okay, so that is called a single degree of freedom. They're asking like, so what is the natural frequency of the given system? Okay, so for that we must know what is the natural frequency formula. So if we know the natural frequency formula, we can easily calculate what is the natural frequency. Okay, so first they given like the fluxural stiffness value is 4 pi square kilonewton per meter and the value of mass is 10 kg. So this is the given data here. So just know what is the formula for natural frequency. That's enough. For SDOF system, the natural frequency is mentioned as F. So the formula for F is 1 by 2 pi square root of K by M. Okay, so K is nothing but stiffness, M is nothing but mass. Okay, so K is nothing but stiffness, right? K is nothing but stiffness, right? So stiffness is given in the problem itself. The fluxural stiffness is 4 pi squared kilonewton meter. So K is nothing 1 by 2 pi. K is nothing but 4 pi squared divided by M. M is nothing but mass. Mass also given in the problem as 10 kg. Okay, so here 10 kg. Okay, so here look, 4 pi square. 4 pi square. The square root of 4 is 2 and the square root of pi squared is just a pi. So we can take it out as 2 pi. Okay, so the value can be simplified, right? The 2 pi and 2 pi can be cancelled and we get a form and we get an answer very easily. Don't even need a calculator to solve this problem. Okay, so for here the mass is given in kg, right? The mass is given in kg, but the fluxural stiffness is given in the unit kilonewton per meter square. For this we have to convert this kg into kilonewton. Okay, for kg to kilonewton, just multiplied by 10 power minus 3. So first take it out as a 4 pi squared as 2 pi. Here 2 pi divided by 2 pi, square root of 1 divided by 10. So convert this 10 kg into kilonewton. So for that just multiplied by 10 power minus 3. That 10 power minus 3, which is just cancel 2 pi, and 10 power minus 3 is going upward, means that means 1000 divided by 10, right? So 0 cancel. So the final answer is root of 100. Root of 100 is nothing but 10. The value of frequency is nothing but in terms of hertz. The unit also given in the problem itself. For this problem I already said that we don't need calculator to solve. So this is a very simple and easy problem. So the frequency for the particular single degree of freedom system is nothing but 10 hertz. So this is the answer. This gives you an answer. I hope this helps you to calculate how to find the natural frequency. In the previous problem, how to find the absolute ratio of net vertical force to the net horizontal force. So today's session is very interesting, and learning what is ultimate, right? So thank you for watching the video. Keep supporting us. Thank you so much.